AEW All In was a fantastic wrestling weekend adventure for me and my family. We traveled 17 and a half hours from North Carolina to Arlington, Texas. And let me tell you, it was absolutely worth every single moment of it. We left right after Dynamite, and the 17 and a half hours, including filling up for gas, we did not get there till Thursday evening, which gave us enough time to sleep, get rested, and show up at StarCast that following Friday. StarCast, for anyone that doesn't know, is like a huge convention for wrestling fans. You get to do photo ops, meet and greets, meet wrestling fans, buy merch, listen to panels, all types of fantastic stuff that, of course, I think you can do at Wrestling World or Wrestling Universe, whichever one they call it now, and it's absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere there was fantastic. The staff of Starcast and I think it was Leap who was doing the photo ops. They were fantastic. The way they conducted and talked to you, and the way they had everything set up was great as well. As soon as you walked in this huge Sheraton hotel, you were greeted with signs telling you, "Welcome to AEW All In Starcast." You had a AEW Dynamite style setup. I think it was actually All In Texas is what it had on the front board, and then there was a big poker chip like you would see at Double or Nothing. That was fantastic. And then to your left was a actual like a panel setup. Had a Ring of Honor backdrop and a commentary table. And we actually was able to get a photo up there with my uncle and my son, and that was pretty cool as well. And so you walk straight in, you get your wristbands for general admission, which general admission got you in the door. And then, of course, if you want to do photo ops or meet and greets, you had to purchase them prior to. But there was a kind of like a punch out tab paper that you could get while you're there, and there was stuff that was complimentary meet and greets. Like Red Velvet was up there, Queen Amanada, the Dark Order, a whole just a great amount of wrestlers that you could meet that was just complimentary. Someone had sponsored them to be there, and that was fantastic as well. Now, when we first got there, we got our wristbands, we're waiting in line to get our complimentary ticket before we start our photo ops for the day, and MJF comes out and interrupts this meet and greet panel that's going on because they were showing off the toy or figure for that week itself. And MJF being MJF, stayed completely in character. He cussed out the fans that were there in attendance, and at the end of his promo, Okada shows up, and Okada, of course, before becoming the unified champion, him and MJF kind of got into like a little spat at each other. MJF said that we've never met before, but if we do, I'd win. And then, of course, called him a bitch. And as he's walking off, I'm sitting there and I got a photo of Okada, and he doesn't purposely mean to, but he bumps me. You know, he doesn't just turn the shoulder, he does a whole little bump as if, he's staying in that heel character, which is absolutely fantastic. Because MJF is one of those that stays in heel character no matter where he's at, what he's doing. Even if it's younger people, younger fans, he stays in that heel face style, which absolutely I enjoy. Now, inside Starcast, before we made our way to any of the photo ops, you had the opportunity to just meet wrestling fans, and then, like I said, there's actual wrestlers walking around because on Friday, if they're not on Ring of Honor, they're not having to rush, so they're just hanging out in the lobby, meeting people, hanging out. I ran into RJ. He was downstairs. I took a photo with him. Toa Leona was down there. Got a photo with him. Talked to him about the Gates of Agony and how I personally think them aligning themselves with Ricochet is going to pole vault them up more in the tag team division. And I'm hoping to see them get a title shot. And of course, we talked about that and just getting to have interaction with wrestlers while we're there. That was a big thing for me as being a fan. Now, of course, there were people like Commander, who we met outside of the Sheraton before All In, before we actually made it over there. And Briscoe was walking around just taking photos with everybody, talking to people. And that was absolutely fantastic. Briscoe is absolutely hilarious in person. Now, the photo ops were outside next to the pool area of the Sheraton, which isn't bad for me being down there in the Texas heat compared to here in Western North Carolina. It's more humid here than it has been there, at least during all weekend, in my opinion. Of course, there's been other people who said it was hotter there than it was where they were from, which it probably was. But I know here in Western North Carolina, the humidity had been so bad, I was expecting it to be absolutely miserable, and it wasn't. So being out there by the pool for these photo ops was absolutely good, fantastic. Now, the photo ops, they are a professional photo op with an AEW backdrop. You would get a hard copy and you would get a actual digital copy that's sent to your email that you would link online when you purchase your ticket. Of course, with me, this experience, I wanted it to be something that was going to be memorable to not just me, but to everyone that went with me on the trip. So, of course, we started our day off getting to hang out with Swerve and Nana. That was fantastic. My oldest son, who was with us, he's a huge Swerve fan. So that was a great moment. We also got to do one with Sting, the Patriarchy, Brian Danielson. Hangman was the closeout on Friday. Paul White, uh, Ric Flair, Mickey James, and then Hangman is extremely generous. Now, the big one for me was outside of taking the photo with Sting, I actually got to meet both of his sons and take a photo with them. I got to tell them how their dad was the reason I really got into wrestling growing up watching the WCW Sting highlights. It was on a VHS tape, and that's what really pushed me into enjoying wrestling and getting me into it. So that was another full circle moment for me, finally getting to meet the person that got me into wrestling. Upstairs, a part of Starcast, you had the meet and greet section of the layout per se. So once you went upstairs, you go to the right. There was like this upper deck area, the trading cards. You could do your own personal trading card. I personally didn't do that. It looked cool. It was very interesting. But I just had so much going on. I did make a stop at Aubrey Edwards. She's doing a thing, and it's for alleliteheels.com. They were there all day Friday, and I think most of the morning Saturday. Of course, you'll see that there's a QR code on the table for that. She even had custom wristbands for you to take with you once you talk to her and you get photos with her. You scan the QR code and sign up. But, they had wristbands like Swerve and John Moxley, and it's custom made stuff. And I think it's really cool that she was promoting something she's behind for AEW as well. Now upstairs, like in that area, we got to actually meet Brody King and Julia Hart. Of course, Brody is another big one that my son's a fan of, and he actually got to get his figure of Brody signed upstairs with him. And on that, it says, "Life is harder, so be harder." And that was actually really nice. Both of these two are extremely nice as well. I talked to Julia also about her and Sky Blue needing tag team titles, and I think that group is well deserving because of everything they've done inside AEW as well. And she was like, "I agree with you, and it should happen tomorrow." And Brody was like, "It'll happen next week." So getting that interaction, that was a big thing for me. Because, like I said, I've been to other wrestling events where you don't get that true interaction all the time. Because sometimes they're just rushing around, not able to really talk to you. Getting able to just interact was another fantastic key moment for me. So after meeting Brody and going back downstairs, we ran into Bryce Renberg. Fantastic. He was part of the free stuff that you could do in the complimentary section. Of course, I didn't make it there during the time frame he was there, but he still was generous enough to take a photo with me, and then we make it downstairs to do our photo op with the Hurt Syndicate. This, on the other hand, took absolutely forever. And it wasn't anyone's fault. It wasn't the people's there's fault. There was some, what we were told was car trouble. The Hurt Syndicate was a little late getting there. So during that time, me and my son, we ran back upstairs to do our meet and greet with Sting. An absolutely fantastic moment. I got to sit there with Sting, talk to him just for a few moments, and of course get a meet and greet, which is a photo and a autograph with two people. So that I got to experience with my son as well throughout Starcast. Now, of course, like I said, there was just so much going on. My son ran into Aminata on our way back downstairs, so he got a photo with her. And then once the Hurt Syndicate finally shows up, Shelton Benjamin takes the hat off of somebody, starts hitting him with it. Well, I'll show you the video.
We hurt people! We hurt people! We hurt people! We hurt people! We hurt dog! Woo!
And so that was the experience for us at Starcast, getting to do all these photo ops, meet the wrestlers, having the interactions with them. Now, of course, we get to All In. We had to take a trolley or like a little bus. It took us maybe 10 minutes to get there from the Sheraton. Wasn't bad. It was a good fan interaction there as well. And then we arrive at All In. All In, it was just, the atmosphere was fantastic. You walk in to these doors and it's just a huge arena full of nothing but AEW fans. Now, of course, we didn't get there for all of 0 Hour. We actually got there as the second match was happening. I know Don Callis was walking out. And of course, you'll see that in the little clip of the video. It shows Don Callis on the screen, and we just start booing. And nobody liked Don Callis at all. And even after his match with Kenny and Okada, I think that tremendously increased it as well. But you see this huge arena, and I mean, it was absolutely packed. I don't care what anyone says. It was a sold out, in my opinion, except for the areas where the Tron was. You couldn't get to those. It was just, the atmosphere and the crowd was fantastic for the overall of the show. Now, I got to actually see Alex Windsor's entrance, her debut on AEW. I was extremely impressed with her because she's been doing a lot on the indie scene, from what I understand, and then seeing her debut in AEW was fantastic. Now, the Young Bucks might have had one of the top creative experiences for their entrance. The Founding Fathers riding on that ship and stopping right there directly, basically in front of us. That was hilarious. It was smart for their characters that they're portraying inside AEW during that moment. The Founding Fathers riding a boat just like George Washington was absolutely great. And now this Will Ospreay entrance, I got to explain a little bit of the background on this. You're going to see two different versions of this entrance. And the first one was actually recorded from the seats. The wife was able to get that one. But you're going to see another one that looks like it's from a upper section of the arena. That's because I was in the process of getting refreshments in between a match and did not realize what was next. So technically, I missed the Will Ospreay and Swerve entrance trying to get back over there. But hearing it, getting the crowd reaction was absolutely fantastic.
participants first, from Essex, England, weighing 225 pounds. 125 pounds.
Fantastic. And then we got to see the return of Cope. My gosh. Did not truly expect Cope to come back in the fashion he did. I was not expecting him to show up because of a heel turn or a face turn kind of by Nick Wayne. But like he said, he's back for the FTR, not Christian, because Christian's a horrible person, which does make sense. Then, during the men's casino gauntlet match, we actually seen Max Caster come out. They gave him a live microphone, and I was really surprised at how over Caster was in that moment, with the crowd doing the best wrestler alive chant.
Max Caster, my God.
All in Texas.
Oh my God. Looking live at the best wrestler alive. Oh my God.
I know that this match has lacked some serious star power. But looking for all the Maximaniacs here at Global Life Field, you get to chant my name. Let's go,
Max, you're the best wrestler alive. Let's go, Max, you're the best wrestler alive. Let's go, Max, you're the best wrestler alive.
And on top of that, we had the best entrance, I think, of the whole night, which was Kenny Omega.
Oh, man. God. Look. Omega! That's fucking beautiful.
And his entrance for his match against Okada, which was top tier, in my opinion. And we have the main event. Main event of the show, Hangman versus Moxley. It was absolutely everything I wanted to see in the Texas Deathmatch style setup. And a lot of people have compared it to the Avengers style ending that we've seen before. But you got to think of everything that has happened to get us to the point where we're at. Moxley and them took out everybody. They absolutely destroyed everyone in their path to win this title and then to keep it. They've took out Bryan, they took out Darby, they took out Jay White, they've took out Samoa Joe now. I mean, and the list goes on, and to have them have that play in their favor to actually win was fantastic. Now, I will be showing y'all my perspective of Darby coming back after the Everest segment because what I realized as I've watched it back, it doesn't show Darby. It only shows the Mount Everest.
Darby! Darby! That's Darby! That's Darby! That's Everest! Yeah! Fuck is he at?
Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Right there, right there, right there!
Oh shit! Darby! Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god, Danielson! Oh my god!
Yeah!
Holy shit! Someone get Darby the fuck down!
He's stuck! He's just swaying. You see that? Oh my god!
Here he comes! Yes! 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 Oh my god!
Exchange, and then you see Bryan come in the ring, which is cool. But we actually get to see him come down, and he like gets stuck sitting there. He's not really stuck, but then he comes down the rest of the way out of the rafters. And I actually missed Bryan showing back up. I did not catch that. I got it, but I did not catch it at first. There was just so much going on, and I was more focused on Darby being inside the rafters, just sitting there. I mean, he's just rocking back and forth. It didn't bother him to be sitting there. If it would have been me, my adrenaline would have absolutely been through the roof. I don't think I could have sat there as long as Darby did and been okay with it. And then the final closing moments where Hangman got the actual title, which we'll go ahead and roll that and let y'all see our reaction there from in the stadium. That it was absolutely fantastic. Real emotion, real fans inside the arena behind Hangman, and I just feel as if the overall aspects of the whole show was great. Now, I didn't get as much of throughout the show as was going to because I was more locked in on actually watching it. But overall experience was fantastic. This will not be my last experience going to an AEW event. or an AEW pay per view, or even Starcast at that. Starcast done a tremendous job with this. I'm very, very proud of how it all worked out. Just because there could have been a lot of chaos and it was not. And then to top off the whole show, they done two surprise photo ops that went live during the show. So you had to have either tickets that you could exchange that you didn't do photo op wise, or you had to buy the photo ops. You still had to have your wristband. Luckily for us, we had some that canceled, unfortunately, but it worked out in his favor. And they announced after the women's casino gauntlet that Harley Cameron was going to be on there. So I tried waiting just to see who the male would be, just so I knew if I wanted to get both of them or just one of them. And then, of course, it came out to be Darby Allin. Absolutely fantastic. We was able to exchange everything and get those two surprise photo ops. And if it was something you could record inside there, I absolutely would have done it, because the reaction on my oldest son's face when he actually got to meet Darby, who is probably his number one favorite in AEW, was absolutely priceless. I mean, he runs up to him, gives him a huge, huge hug, almost knocks him down, and Darby's just smiling the whole time. Asked him where he was coming from. Of course, we told him, and of course, we got to take the photo with him. It was a fantastic experience. And like I said, it is most definitely recommended. If you got to fly, if you got to drive, whatever you got to do, if you see Starcasters coming to your area, or you see an AEW all event that has Starcast with it, I absolutely recommend it, just off of the fan experience you're able to do, because there is just so much that can be done and it's absolutely worth it. But with that being said, I hope y'all all had a fantastic day. And of course, we will see y'all on the next one.